Assalamu alaikum. I am Amir Hamza, EducationWala. Today I have discussion with ChatGPT AI tool on the topic of how to create a growth mindset and embrace challenges. Hello ChatGPT, how are you?
Walaikum assalam, Amir Hamza. I'm doing great, thank you. I'm excited about our discussion today. Let's dive into how we can develop a growth mindset and embrace challenges together.
ChatGPT, how would you personally define a growth mindset and how it is different from a fixed mindset in daily life?
Great question. So, a growth mindset is basically the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed over time through effort, learning, and persistence. On the other hand, a fixed mindset is the belief that abilities are static and unchangeable. In daily life, someone with a growth mindset will embrace challenges, learn from feedback, and see failures as opportunities to grow, whereas someone with a fixed mindset might avoid challenges and give up easily when faced with obstacles.
Can you recall a situations where you initially believed you could not improve at something but change, if anything?
Absolutely. One common example for many people is learning a new skill, like playing a musical instrument or picking up a new language. At first, it might feel overwhelming and you might think you're not capable of improving. But with consistent practice, seeking feedback, and staying patient, most people do see significant improvement. It's all about shifting that mindset from I can't to I can learn and grow.
Why do you think people often avoid challenges even when they know growth comes from discomfort?
That's a great point. Often people avoid challenges because of fear of failure, fear of judgment, or simply because stepping out of their comfort zone feels intimidating. There's also the natural human tendency to want to protect oneself from potential embarrassment or discomfort. Over time, though, as people experience the benefits of embracing those challenges, they often become more comfortable with the idea.
ChatGPT, how do fear of failure and fear of judgment influence our mindset towards challenges?
Absolutely. Fear of failure and fear of judgment can have a big impact on how we approach challenges. When we're afraid of failing, we might avoid trying new things altogether to protect our self esteem. Similarly, fear of judgment can make us worry about how others perceive us, which can lead to hesitation and self doubt. Overcoming these fears usually involves building self awareness, practicing self compassion, and gradually stepping out of our comfort zones. This way, we can shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset.
In your opinion, how can failure become a powerful learning tool rather than a discouraging experience?
I think failure can be incredibly powerful when we see it as feedback rather than a reflection of our abilities. Each failure offers insights into what went wrong and what we can improve. It helps us identify gaps in our knowledge or skills and gives us a roadmap for growth. Over time, embracing failure can build resilience, adaptability, and a deeper understanding of the process, ultimately turning setbacks into stepping stones for success.
What role does self talk play after making a mistake or facing a setback?
Self talk plays a huge role in how we process and respond to setbacks. Positive, constructive self talk can help us maintain motivation, build confidence, and focus on learning rather than dwelling on mistakes. On the other hand, negative self talk can lead to doubt, anxiety, and a fixed mindset. By practicing positive self talk, we can remind ourselves that mistakes are normal, part of the learning journey, and opportunities for growth. This mindset shift can really make a difference in how we handle future challenges.
What habits or daily practices can help someone intentionally develop a growth mindset?
There are quite a few habits that can help foster a growth mindset. For instance, embracing lifelong learning by regularly picking up new skills or knowledge is super helpful. Setting specific, achievable goals and reflecting on your progress regularly can also reinforce that growth mindset. Another good practice is to seek feedback and view it as a tool for improvement rather than criticism. Additionally, practicing resilience, staying curious, and cultivating a positive attitude towards challenges can really go a long way in building that mindset.
In your opinion, how can failure become a powerful learning tool rather than a discouraging experience?
I believe that failure truly becomes a powerful learning tool when we approach it with curiosity and openness. Instead of seeing it as a dead end, we can view it as a stepping stone that provides valuable insights by reflecting on what went wrong, identifying what we can do differently next time, and maintaining a solution oriented mindset. We turn setbacks into stepping stones. Over time, this builds resilience and confidence, making us more adaptable and better equipped for future challenges.
ChatGPT, what role does self-talk play after making a mistake or facing setback?
Self talk really shapes our emotional response and our motivation after a mistake. Positive self talk can help us stay resilient, encourage us to keep trying, and reinforce the belief that we can improve. On the flip side, negative self talk can lead to self doubt, anxiety, and even giving up. So, cultivating supportive and constructive self talk is key to maintaining a growth mindset and turning those setbacks into opportunities for growth.
How can asking for feedback or help contribute to personal and professional growth?
Asking for feedback is such a powerful tool for growth because it helps us gain different perspectives that we might not see on our own. It allows us to identify areas for improvement, recognize our strengths, and even build better relationships through open communication. In both personal and professional settings, feedback helps us continuously improve, adapt, and ultimately become more effective and confident in what we do. It also fosters a culture of continuous learning and openness, which is invaluable for long term growth.
ChatGPT, how can a growth mindset change the way students or professionals approach difficult tasks or exams?
A growth mindset really transforms how students or professionals tackle difficult tasks by encouraging them to see challenges as opportunities rather than threats. Instead of feeling defeated by obstacles, they become more resilient, willing to experiment, and open to learning from mistakes. This mindset leads to a more persistent and proactive approach, making it easier to overcome difficulties and ultimately achieve success.
Uh, ChatGPT, what is the one challenge you are currently facing, and how could applying a growth mindset change your approach to it?
That's a great question. For many people, a common challenge might be dealing with a complex project or a skill that feels difficult to master. By applying a growth mindset, you can focus on incremental progress, celebrate small wins, and embrace the learning process rather than being discouraged by setbacks. This shift in perspective can lead to more creativity, greater resilience, and ultimately better outcomes.
ChatGPT, how we could define when we giving a project to student, he behave like a growth mindset and a normal mindset. What we could define them?
That's a thoughtful question. Generally, a student with a growth mindset is someone who believes that their abilities can improve over time with effort, practice, and perseverance. They tend to embrace challenges, learn from feedback, and see failures as opportunities for growth. On the other hand, a student with a fixed mindset might believe that their abilities are static and cannot be changed, leading them to avoid challenges, give up more easily, and feel discouraged by setbacks. In essence, the key difference is that a growth mindset focuses on development and learning, whereas the fixed mindset centers more on perceived limitations.
Which type of projects, like engineering projects, is suitable for a growth mindset and mindset?
In general, engineering projects that are complex, innovative, and involve a lot of problem solving tend to be more suitable for a growth mindset. These types of projects encourage continuous learning, experimentation, and adaptation, which align well with a growth mindset approach. For example, projects involving new technology development, prototyping, or cutting edge research really benefit from that mindset. On the other hand, projects that are more routine, well defined, and have a clear, unchanging process might be more suited to someone with a fixed mindset. That's because they might not push the boundaries as much and can be more about following established procedures. But even in those cases, a growth mindset can still lead to continuous improvement and innovation.
Thank you, ChatGPT, for giving us a very suitable examples and suggestions about growth mindset and fixed mindset. Thank you very much. We are coming and talk with you on next topic.
You're very welcome. I'm glad I could help, and I'm looking forward to our next conversation. Anytime you need more insights or have new topics in mind, just let me know. Have a great one.
Okay, Allah Hafiz. Bye.